Hey guys, Palsteron here, and I wanted to make a little bit of a different video today, not build-centric, but more about farming currency. And for this, we're going to talk about certain stages in the game that are pretty cookie cutter, and I can kind of like generalize, and then also talk about what role pets play in this game, and in terms of like drops and whatnot. The first thing you need to understand are the steps of farming. So there is tier 1 to tier 6, which is a joke. You're not going to drop anything. This is all about crafting. You need to learn how to craft. All your upgrades here are basically you going to the crafting guy and getting tier 3 mods or getting tier 2 mods and making your character stronger, knowing what you have to get. That is completely different from character to character. Or, for example, if you have a legendary that's very strong for you, saving up like 1 or 2 FEs, Flame Elementium starts dropping in tier 5. It doesn't really drop all that much, but yeah, tier 5s and tier 6, it theoretically can. So yeah, this is definitely crafting territory. But then we're getting into tier 7 where it gets a little bit more interesting. Still nothing drops globally, or very little. You're going to drop like an FE here or there and some embers, right? That's cool. But you can now leverage the fact that you get fixed drops. So global drops aside, there is a fixed drop from every watcher. So you see these star shards. Whenever you complete a map, you get 1. And with some mechanics, you can even get 2 per map. So you can rush those, get to the boss, and get at least 1 Timemark 8 beacon, and these sell for around about 4 to 5 FE, and you can even get 2 of these. What you can do is you can farm it in 7-0, right? So that's the easiest one. You farm all your star shards here, and then you swap to 7-2. This is important because the star shards carry over. There's the same star shards. However, this boss right here doesn't tell you here, but it always drops 2 of these. So now we're up from 4 to 5 to 8 to 10 FE. And you might be like, oh, but that's kind of annoying, right? I have to do so many maps, but it isn't, right? So it really isn't, because there's certain layouts, like for example, Prayer Sanctuary. You go in, I don't know, you probably grab your God of War, and the layout is always the same. You literally do this. Now, you don't have to do this, right? I know it's kind of boring for a while. I like this gameplay. I don't mind this gameplay. But if you do this correctly, you can literally do a boss every few minutes. And depending on how fast your character is, you can make between 200 and 400 FE an hour. And without pets, right? Like we're not in pet territory yet. Which means you can gear up your character and get stronger for tier 8. Now, there's a lot of varieties of boss rush out there. I'm just going to show you what I do. So here's what I do. You first want all the star shard nodes. This gives you extra chance. If you already completed Watcher 7, that is great, because then you take the star shard node right here. Is it here? Where did they put it? Did they put it up top? Yeah, they did. Okay, there it is. This star shard node, the other star shard node. Now you have even more chance to get another star shard, right? So you're faster to the boss. Incredibly strong. You want Netherrealm resonators, because a lot of the tier 7 maps that you need for this are not going to drop. So you will need to go here and buy it from the vendor, and 8 resonator equals 1 map. But more often than not, you can also buy it from the trade house, and it's going to be a lot cheaper here. So you go boom, and then you go, I think map material. No, it's map ticket. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, if you can complete Traveler 7, that's definitely a big one. I didn't include that here because it's very early, but definitely go for this one ASAP. It's going to make a huge difference. And then the last nodes are going to be embers. This is for your early crafting, but also for you to sell them. And then we have God of War, which increases your speed by quite a bit. I just put 15 points in here, and that's that. So, okay, you got from tier 1 to tier 6 by crafting, tier 7 by boss rushing. Now we get into the pet territory. Okay, how important are pets for tier 8 and above farming? The answer is very important. I don't care who you are, what people want to cope. They are very important. They do a lot of things. As somebody who had their first level 6 pet this patch, I can guarantee you they are insane, okay? That's all you need to know. Varying degrees of insane, depending on a lot of other factors. The reason there is no consensus and why a lot of people are coping is because everybody has different pets. Everybody invested into different mechanics, and they like to run different mechanics. So it is very hard to talk about mechanics, like talk about farming strats and whatnot in this game. There is no consensus. So it can be very confusing as a free-to-play player to know where to allocate your resources. And this is how I see it. So you get pets over time. That's the first big thing. You might think right now, oh, I have no pets, I can't farm. But that's not completely true. You get a lot of free stuff across the board. You can actually invest them into pets. But the biggest factor here, other than the pay-to-win factor, which is obviously, yeah, not my favorite system to say the least, is that it really accumulates over time. You get free legendary pets, you get a lot of like credits, and you can invest them into pets. So even if you're not paying, somebody who has been playing for 10 leagues already and is free to play versus you as a new player, it is wild difference. But that's something you just have to know and kind of accept, or realize that over time, the same is going to happen to you. Spend all your free currency on drop pets. There's no excuse. They're ridiculous. You should always spend them on drop pets. And then find one mechanic that you like and max that out. A lot of people make this mistake, and I made this mistake for a while, is I use it on different pets, right? I'm like, okay, so I'm just gonna have a level 1 here, level 1 there, and no, that's not how you play it. This league is where I had my first level 6 drop pet, which is the Outlaw pet, and it is simply ridiculous. What you have to realize is, try these different mechanics out and see what you like, and then invest in that. So put all your free currency into that. Over time, it's going to add up, and you would rather have one level 6 pet than, I don't know, fucking 15 level 1 legendary pets spread out. It is my number 1 gripe with this game, the pay to win mechanic, obviously, and also the fact that you can't try out different farming strats really. But if this is fine with you, and you have to understand that this is the truth. There is no ifs or buts. People will tell you, people will cope. That is simply the truth. Now, there is other things to know though. Firstly, sell all your small stuff. One of the other reasons why people have no currency is because they have all this stuff flying around that they're not selling. You can super quickly price check stuff. Price check, and it's even easier nowadays. So let's say you go to the interface here, you go price check, and you don't even have to type anything in here. You just click on this, and it's gonna do the pricing for you. You probably have a ton of stuff you don't need lying around that you can sell for upgrades, and upgrades are power. So that's all you need to know. Okay, click through menus for free stuff. I'm not gonna do it right here, but there's so many different menus. There's like the boss conquest that give you rewards. You get like extra FE back from the tax vouchers, right? There is so many daily rewards that you can click through. Make sure that you have all your quests unlocked and whatnot. Those are important. 2 that are especially important are the free legendary drop pets that you can get. One is from the Supreme Showdown. Now, what a lot of people tell you is you have to kill Showdown 20, and that is true. If you kill 20, you get a free legendary pet. However, that of your choosing as well. However, you will notice that you get points over time as well. So, for example, I have 80 points, and those are leftovers from last league. If I now kill a few more bosses this league, it will actually add up to 100. So you can also do this over 2 leagues if those bosses are too hard for you. And the second important one, talking about the logins, I don't know exactly what this is. Is it here? Used to acquire packed spirits from the battle event. Yeah, this is one free, we're almost day 7. One free one, and then this is a legendary drop packed spirit. So if you don't have time, just log in and click through these every day, and then you get free stuff as well. And lastly, learn how to craft. Now, if this was PoE, I would give you a rundown of how to craft, but honestly, it's so brain dead that it's don't get me wrong, like knowing which mods to go for, that's something you have to figure out for your build, no question. But like, you have auto crafting, right? You can assign, I want at least the tier 1, and then you start auto crafting. That's literally it. Other than that, you have 2 ultimate affixes if you have a high enough. I guess one important thing would be this. Stuff gets harder to craft the higher the item level go. You can see right here, this one is quite expensive to craft, and it costs me FE. And then there is certain items, for example, this low tier scepter where you craft it, and you can see it only costs flame sand. That is because of the eye level. Don't go buy a level 100 base and be like, oh, now I can craft everything. I gradually upgrade. That's not how it works. So this is what you have to know. This is all you have to know. Tier 3 mods max is at between 76 and 81. Tier 2, 82 to 85. These all cost flame sand. This here costs flame elementium, and this one costs even more flame elementium. That's about it. So learn how to craft. And this is roundabout all we can talk about here, because everything else depends on what you want to do. Now, when I talk about tier 8 and profound, tier 8 is where you can actually start doing strats, right? And you will see a lot of them. You can go here, and you can go where is it? Pro builds, quick loot, and you can see all the different farming strats people have. But once again, do remember that they heavily depend on the pets that you have. So if you see something that lines up with what you got, then there you go. I guess another thing that I get asked a lot is Timemark 8. The difference between Timemark 8.0 and Timemark 8.2 is quite big. And this is where you'll hear different accounts from people who are like, no, it's not a big difference. You should just stick in Timemark 0. Whenever you can comfortably farm a Timemark, you should upgrade every single time. The extra quantity does really, really add up, and also increasing the level of the monster intrinsically also increases the rewards. So in general, you want to go from 8.0 to 8.2. It's not a massive increase. It's not something you have to like it's not like super important, but whenever you can do it comfortably, why not? And the other thing is, don't underestimate how much better Profound is than 8-2. So the jump from 8-2 to a Profound is probably the difference between like 10 and 200 billion. So it is a huge stepping stone. But the reason why people want to get there real quickly is because it has new drops that are very sought after. And yeah, it just drops a ton more. I mean, just look at the drop quantity, more bonus. It goes from 40 to 100. So yeah, the difference is crazy. It's like if you're doing a strat and before you made like 500 fee an hour, you're now making probably 1,500. But yeah, that's about all I got for this video. I just kind of wanted to lay it out for people so you can kind of understand it. I've now played this game for quite a few seasons, so I kind of know the drill in terms of progression. And if you know this, I think it gives you an easier outlook on how the game kind of goes. But yeah, thanks for watching, and since I still never slogan, see you next time.